Greetings, light users. I'm pleased to present to you today the Enkidu light machine version 3.4. The pioneer of Enkidu has kindly sent this unit over to me to the UK to demo and review for you guys. Sound and light are both very powerful healing energies and are essential to our health and our well-being. Energy can also be referred to as a medicine, so it facilitates the healing as it relaxes the mind and the body. It also promotes healthy cell growth, regulates hormones, builds enzymes, increases circulation, lowers blood pressure, and much more besides. Whilst I won't go into great depth about how brain entrainment works and how we should all get into the habit of doing this, what I will do today is show you how this light machine works and how it performs on myself and today's guinea pig Steiner Lund. The Enkidu is a new to market mains powered neurostimulator that houses 6 different high powered stroboscopic LED lights. So you've got 16 in total that are organised in an octagonal formation that create a high quality light source, one that will fully deliver to you a full spectrum white light, which I believe is CR95. This is currently the only machine that I know of that has this particular feature. So by using pre-programmed sessions, the Enkidu delivers the user a very complex light sequenced patterns via the left and right channels, whilst it is controlled by audio strobe. Now this is a silent track that is on all the MP3 sessions that you'll find on this particular machine. Depending on the session that you choose, they can often lead to very intense effects and potentially improve one's well-being. It also stimulates the visual cortex and the other areas of your brain. However, I really must make it abundantly clear that yes, they do contribute to your well-being, but light machines aren't intended as a replacement for medical or psychological treatment or to treat diseases. Must make that really clear at this point. Whilst it is very safe to use for the majority of people, please do seek advice if you're pregnant, prone to seizures, or you're aged under 18. Always ask for a medical opinion if you're unsure. Now, there are many well-documented clinical guides and observations to sound and light out there if you actually go looking for them. So in previous studies, I've actually hooked up the Muse EEG headset, which gives pretty accurate real-time feedback on one's brain activities whilst actually running AVE sessions. It clearly shows how the brainwaves respond to certain light and sound frequencies. So recently, scientists have actually found a direct link that suggests that our consciousness is linked directly to light. So in other words, the biophotons in our brains do respond to light. Now, there's no question about that. Our minds process light and sound frequencies, and when neurotransmitters and hormones are released, this is when you reach much deeper levels of meditation and trance, etc. So the effects of certain sessions can be felt for many hours afterwards. Like physical exercise, which is what I'm scared of, it's not actually something that you can do and expect instantaneous results like building muscles, etc. So you can't expect results within half an hour or half an hour later. Okay, so in order for a successful outcome to rewire brain pathways, you've really got to work at this more than once or more than a handful of times. So you just really need to figure what your overall objective is. I began using AVE machines 4 years ago for a research project into meditation and altered states. So the method used is known as brainwave synchronization or entrainment. It's created by flickering Gans fields and a pulsing regular beats or tones. Now, I have a very strong faith in AVE, and I find it a very beneficial tool for the practicing of shifting one's consciousness, and by that I mean things like meditation, trance state, increase in efficiency, creativity, that kind of thing. You can also help improve sleep habits by using certain programs, but it certainly has the ability to help clear a mind that's bursting with excessive babble. And in turn, it facilitates a positive mood shifting effects by using a mixture of calming sounds, also embedded modulations that we call binaural beats, and also isochronic pulses, which are all perfectly coordinated to complement the visual experience with the light machine. So the rate of brainwave firing is related to our state of arousal. So therefore, the type of frequency that you're going to expose yourself to is actually imperative. For example, if you wish to enter a state of mental calm or external awareness, relaxal, that kind of thing, so you need to be using programs that are in the alpha or the SMR range, which is 13 to 15 hertz. So for facilitating learning, alertness, kind of a focused mind, emotional stability, etc., I recommend beta frequencies. Okay, here's an example of what you'll be listening to, sounds from the Enkidu. So now I want to talk about configuration and control of Enkidu. The makers of this light machine have put so much thought into this unit, and it works really, really well as a standalone machine by keeping the design very, very uncomplicated. It is extremely robust. I've knocked it over a couple of times, and it's housed in an anodized aluminium box. So the MP3 player is inbuilt, and it also supports WMA and WAV or WAV formats. Okay, the MP3s are encoded with a technology called audio strobe, and this is actually what is controlling the lights as we speak. You simply insert your headphones to the headphone jack. You then turn on the MP3 player by using the small off and on key on the front of the panel of the box, but you must ensure that the volume is set to 32. That's for the MP3 player to pick up the audio strobe encoding, so make sure it's at number 32. Aux mode. There is an aux mode, which is where you can connect the headphone jack of your player via the aux cable to the aux input of the light machine. Ensure that you can change the mode of the MP3 player to line in mode by using the mode key. The volume control is on the front of the panel here, also along with the brightness control, which I've actually not seen on any other AV machines, so this is a real bonus. You can choose the number of the session by just using the forward and the backwards keys on top. Once you've chosen a session, you just press pause, get under the light or sit in front of it, whatever you want to do, whatever feels more comfortable for you, and press play. If you feel it's too bright, you can just adjust the intensity by turning the brightness down here, okay, which is a control to the left. It is recommended that the unit is placed somewhere between 30 centimeters to a meter from your eyes. Now the LEDs here, they pump out a staggering 3000 lumens, which is very, very bright. So I really recommend that you build up to full intensity at your own pace. There is just no rush. Okay, so what have we got in the kit? We've actually got, obviously, the Enkidu, the light box. We have an AC adapter and cable, stereo headphones, a shoulder bag, SD memory card, which has backup files on, and we've got the USB flash drive, which contains the sessions. Also, you have a 3.5mm aux cable, a remote control. A tripod is optional. You will be supplied with one if you ask for one. And the manual you can just grab off the website, and that's in PDF format. Now, there is a standard 1/4" camera tripod mount, which is located here. So you can easily place it on a windowsill or a table or chair or whatever suits your circumstances. So the detailed e-manual can be found on the Enkidu website, along with a wealth of other information that's pertaining to this particular light machine, and of course the benefits of its use. So the device is guaranteed for a year. Now, experienced users wishing to create their own unique sessions, you can purchase a sequence editing software from a company called Transparent Corporation for a small fee, should you wish to. Whilst this unit has now become affordable to everyday consumers like myself, I actually feel that the Enkidu Is very well suited to both private explorers like me, and it's also suited for commercial use for people like biofeedback technicians, health spas, researchers, and anyone that's studying consciousness, and of course holistic therapists who wish to run individual or one-to-one sessions. You can actually daisy chain them for group sessions at bigger events or retreats, so this is perfect for that kind of thing. But one thing I was thrilled to find out with this device, it is actually a high CRI light. Okay, so the manufacturer claims that the quality of these lights are pretty close to all frequencies in the colour spectrum when compared to a perfect reference of natural light. So we're talking in terms of colour temperature. Now, other light machines, or light therapy devices in this bracket do not have this feature. So what I'm saying is too much blue light that is not balanced properly with red light can actually be really harmful to your eyes. So you need to check out the frequencies. So one great feature about the Enkidu is it allows you to connect multiple devices together via the auxiliary input, and you can run all of them at the same time with total synchronicity. So what I want to do now is talk about red light therapy. Visible light has wavelengths ranging from 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers. So anything outside of this range could be things like infrared, X-rays, radio waves, that kind of thing. Now, a nanometer is just a unit of length, and a spectrometer measures the actual wavelength of visible light. Now, I was absolutely stunned to discover that the left channel on the Enkidu, which controls the red spectrum of the white light, can actually be used as red light therapy. That is also known as LLT, which is low-level laser therapy. It's also called biostimulation or photonic stimulation. So this has been around, I think, since about 1903. So you've got physician Niels Ryberg. He successfully treated smallpox and lupus with red light. So this is really, really exciting stuff. It's generally used as a treatment for skin care, and the light actually penetrates approximately 8 to 10 millimeters into the skin layers, but it's most effective at wavelengths between 630 and 880 nanometers. But the Enkidu's red lights are 625 and the deep red lights are 660 nanometers, so they are well within the zone for using this device for red light therapy. Now, it's claimed that red light therapy has many, many healing benefits. Red light therapy is FDA approved and is deemed safe. Now, it's warm and it will not result in a tanning effect as the wavelength is not UV, which is ultraviolet. Now, there is a ton of information out there on this kind of therapy, which obviously you can check out after this video. Again, this is an alternative therapy that is drug and chemical free. It's painless, 100% natural, safe, and it is FDA approved. So the effective blue light is within the 400 to 495 range. Now, the Enkidu emits blue light from 470 nanometers and 490 nanometers, which can actually penetrate deeper into the skin's layers. I can tell you now that any therapy, no matter what it is, will not work for everyone 100% of the time, but just jump in with whatever you can feel will work for you, and just measure your reaction after that particular session. So as a rule of thumb, the relax sessions will get you there between 6 to 10 minutes, whilst any concentration session may take several sessions for you just to realise what effect it's actually having on you. So some sessions are designed and built for long-term use, but obviously exploration is key. The full kit comes with 43 sessions that are stored on the USB stick. They can last anything from 10 minutes up to over an hour. So start off with a few short sessions and gradually build up that way. Now, the sleep and wake cycle in humans is controlled by melatonin, which is a chemical produced by the pineal gland, which is then secreted into your bloodstream. So when you sleep to the moment that you awake. Now, take note of the time of day that you're using a light machine and night sessions after sunset. So only use the warm and the red light then, as this won't affect your circadian rhythm and your sleep patterns, whilst other sessions that contain cold white light or full spectrum light should actually be avoided after sunset. So ensure that you have a good dose of natural light, daylight, prior to using the machine, and this will avoid any sudden headaches. Now, there are 9 main categories here. The first is artistic. Now, this allows you to connect with the spirit world with harmonics. The cognitive sessions, these help you to stay focused and alert. Healing, well, we all need our daily dose of healing to ease any chronic pain. Holistic, this includes the Schumann resonance and it helps us connect with the earth. Meditation. These sessions will help you move from beta to alpha and they'll tap into your higher cognitive understanding. Personally, I'd start with mastering the alpha meditations and then I'd slowly progress onto the theta sessions. Mood and uplift. This is kind of like an antidepressant that has got no side effects, so there's no need for coffee to boost your energy. Relaxation and anxiety. Now, this is a great aid that aims to soothe your worries away. There are sessions that are specifically written for nighttime use. Chakras. If you subscribe to the chakra system, which people believe is the key ingredient to all spiritual development, then there are quite a few sessions that concentrate on each chakra, as well as a full 7 chakra meditation at 432 Hertz. Sound medicine. There are 3 beautiful sessions that use audio strobe and isochronic beats. What physical position should you be in whilst using the machine? Now, it's basically down to you to make that choice, but it's usually recommended that when one is combining a meditation session that focuses on deep breathing or breath awareness, then obviously sitting upright with your back straight as possible is advised, as this obviously is more conducive to a meditation, and it also keeps you, very importantly, awake and alert. But also you may lay down, as Steiner will be later, or you can sit in the lotus position. With all AVE devices, there are 3 methods of viewing the sessions. So you can either surface, depth view, or find a focal point with your eyes shut. So I must make it clear that you must keep your eyes shut when using these machines. Now, I tend to find it works really well when I slightly cross my eyes and I position them just above the brow area here. Now, how many people can use the unit at any one time? Well, I just really love the fact that up to 4 people can actually use the same light when lying down. It's very easy to set up. But before starting, just make sure that your Enkidu light machine is mounted on a tripod like I have here. Now, the light should be directed towards your forehead where it's possible at a 30-degree angle. So it will be kind of like looking at the sun shining from above just before a sunset. Illustrator and artist Steiner Lund is now going to try out Enkidu. He'll then conclude with the finer points of his experience, and of course I will ensure that he is comfortable, warm and well hydrated prior to his session.
Before we started the session, I was actually looking forward to it. Having had a session with the casino at another time, I had some idea of what would be happening. When the session started, it was a bit overwhelming at the very start. I think it was the strength of the colours and the speed of how quickly things changed that got me, and there was even a bit of motion sickness feeling at one point. But that soon passed. Then it was like I was drawn into the visuals to such an extent that it was almost like a feeling you're coming off the couch almost. So, which resulted in a floating sensation, which was very nice. Mentioning the colours again, they're more like impossible colours. You haven't seen them before. I hadn't seen colours like that before. And the patterns, mostly geometric to me, were again almost impossible to gaze because they're moving so fast. And then they would come over like in almost like watercolour washes. They would change. And that would almost draw you in even more, like you'd follow it. It was like almost like sort of going on a journey, you were floating with it. As it progressed, I got more and more relaxed into it, and my legs felt like they were just floating, really. There wasn't anything, I didn't feel like there was surface under them. It was funny at times. I think it was probably the audio signals coming through, obviously went with the light, is that my breathing started to quicken, and I think that was the speed of the signals coming through. But when that had sort of come to a plateau and then it started to go slower, I went even deeper into the relaxation. Your inner chatter or your inner voice just disappears because actually there just isn't room for that anymore. During the slower parts, both the lights and the music, there were a few thoughts creeping in, but for mostly the thought patterns tended to disappear. And with the thought patterns disappearing, then you do have a sense of calm, more like a meditative type of feeling and state. The feeling was I associated with it's like laying on a beach enjoying the sun. You get quite a blissed out feeling, so that was appreciated too. I think there was a certain buoyancy in how I felt generally, in mood as well as general feeling of well-being. It's very hard to explain to other people who haven't experienced it what it is like, but it's quite awe-inspiring in some senses. When you've done a fair amount of meditation in one session, there is a definite feeling of buoyancy, of being happy might be also a word you could apply to it. So it's a little bit reminiscent of that. I mean, yeah, feeling good. I'll be looking forward to doing some more.
Thank you to Steiner for his insightful review on the Enkidu. I'm sure he'll be back again to try it out. Now, here is my conclusion. The Enkidu has been an absolute pleasure to use, and obviously by no means it isn't a replacement for silent meditation practice. So when I feel that I'm in need of an AVE session, I don't have to faff about with the usual GANs frames by putting LED glasses on, or I don't have to put fresh batteries in it every other week or so to ensure that the LEDs are kicking out strong light. Obviously it's not quite as portable as the handheld mind machines, but I'm really pleased to see that it still can be transported and set up with minimal effort. Now the visuals are very strong and definite. Now I found that I could actually reach a mild trance state within about 15 to 20 seconds, which I actually can't do with the portable mind machines, not quite so quickly. But I found that also if I look left and right, up and down, the overall effect was actually quite deeper, so that was quite interesting. Also with this light machine, you can change the brightness value without affecting the intensity. Intensity is the measure of the actual light wave, which is proportional to the square of amplitude. while the brightness depends on the amplitude as well as its wavelength. So overall, I'd rate it as a visually stunning and sparkly experience, which obviously is very hard to describe in terms of visuals, but the light patterns are always changing, so there's plenty of multifaceted and abundant imagery. Lots of starbursts, lots of fireworks, warping chessboards that are coming to and fro. Interconnecting shapes, fractals that are very colourful. And I actually felt that there was a presence of something sometimes, but also I could see lots of tree roots as well, which was really weird. So I think in conclusion, whether you want to re-energise, increase your cognitive function, or enjoy just a session that will help you tune into the Earth's frequencies, then in my humble opinion, the Enkidu might just be what the universe wants us to experience.